to the 2020 Secondary School Girls Central Invitational Tournament. Hope you're all well. Coming to you from Palmerston North. We are set to go for game 2 of day 2 of this Central Invitational Tournament. The two teams warming up at the moment, preparing. New Plymouth Girls High School and Wellington East Girls College, wherever you may be viewing from. Hope you're well. Coming to you on Sky Sport Next. Justin Nelson and Tomai Hapango with you. Tomai, welcome.
Thank you for that, Justin.
Great to have you with us, mate.
Yeah, I'm excited to get the opportunity to watch these girls do put their hard work that they've put in over the year, and they get to take it out on the court. Obviously, they've got to play games throughout the season, albeit with COVID restrictions, but also get the opportunity to play in front of their families, which is lovely to see. I'm just happy to get to see some live sport, Justin. Thank you.
Well, we were saying this morning, Rotorua, of course, a big win over Napier earlier on today. We were saying during that game how wonderful it is to be back on court and seeing basketball as these two teams go through their final preparations. There's Wellington East. We'll talk more about them in a moment. First of all, action coming up today from Palmerston North. Plenty to watch on Sky Sport Next. Let's have a look at the schedule. This is game 2 of the 4 games being broadcast today. Rotorua earlier on this morning against Napier. Big winners. New Plymouth and Wellington East coming up now. Fielding and Queen Margaret a little bit later on this afternoon. And then tonight, looking forward to this one, Sacred Heart New Plymouth up against the champs, the national title holders, St Peter's. That's what's on the menu today. Let's have a look at these two teams and we'll talk more about them and what they've achieved thus far. New Plymouth Girls High School. There's the lineup. Death, Elliott, Tafata, Smith, Birdsall, Eldershaw, Hardy, Ray, Murray, Williams and Gilmore. Jeff Cleaver is the coach. Wellington East, looking forward to seeing this team in action. I watched them last night and they were very entertaining. Just an 8-player rotation. Let's have a look at the Wellington East lineup. There it is. Hagar, Rangi. Now Rangi's not playing, we know that. Prescott will be playing. Ross Simi, Curtis, Thompson, Laulu, Tate Jones, Mercury and Patia. So that's the lineup for Wellington East. Now, so far, New Plymouth, 2 games yesterday, 1 game so far this morning, and they are without a win at the moment. There they are on screen. They're going to be very keen to get the win here. So far, losses to Rotorua, Napier and Mount Maunganui. Mount Maunganui has been a standout so far, very much a surprise packet. And for Wellington East, this is their first game of day 2. They had a thrilling overtime win last night over Napier, 79-74. That was a cracking game to watch. And then earlier today, a 9-point loss to Mount Maunganui. And even though that was a loss, that's pretty good form because Mount Maunganui are 3-0 at the moment. So you would think Wellington East to start favourites here. And the race for second position in this pool is red hot. So a huge opportunity for Wellington East. They know what's on the line here. But some very good players to keep an eye on. And certainly from what we've seen from both of these teams so far, they'll get up and they'll get right into this. I think it'll be an entertaining game, Tomai.
Yeah, you're right, Justin. I think one of the things you brought up was that Wellington East still have a game to go tonight. So they're a game behind New Plymouth. They like to play at a fast pace despite having a short rotation. So we'll see if that takes an impact on the New Plymouth team, the high pace, and also, of course, being a game behind. And
Wellington East, by the way, tonight play Rotorua, who... as we said, we saw earlier on today on Sky Sport Next, and they were very good. Good pressure up the floor, forced a lot of turnovers from Napier, and they looked a threat every time they came down the floor to score.
Yeah, they play a similar style, I think, the Wellington team and the Rotorua team in terms of that high pressure defense, trying to force turnovers and then giving themselves opportunity to just score before they have to set up on offense. And if Wellington East can take care of business at the moment in this game, and it sets up a ripper in terms of seeding for tonight's game at 7:30, which is also going to be on our live stream. Yeah,
looking forward to that one. 2 teams just about ready to go in the white singlets with the dark blue and red V on the front, as you can see there. That's New Plymouth. Wellington East in the predominantly royal blue and yellow uniforms. I think if we're going to put a stake in the turf, I'm a Wellington resident. You're from up this way. Probably spent a bit of time here and there in New Plymouth yourself, Tomai. So that might be the stake in the ground for this game. Let's see how it unfolds as we get underway. Tafata for the first time with an excellent pass. The little up and under from Lucy Elliott couldn't drop. First opportunity of the game goes begging. And Wellington East will now get their first chance, and it's a very good chance. Well done to Patia with the opening score of the game, going the way of Wellington East, who look to give away a bit of height in this game. There's Tafata, can't put it away, big rebound, put back one, put back two, foul is called, and Ella Williams will go to the line for a couple. She will be a very prominent player off the glass in this game, Ella Williams. Saw her play last night, very strong inside, so expect to see a lot of that today.
That was right on cue, Justin, as you mentioned, a possible size mismatch inside. Ellie Williams gets 2 offensive rebounds and now she's at the line. So
given Wellington East are giving away a bit of size, what are some of the things that they've got to do in this game? Well, there's Ellie Williams getting the ball back. Trying to make something from nothing, to be honest with you. I'm not sure how Wellington East turned it over on that occasion, but it is going to give New Plymouth another opportunity. Tafata from a long way out. There's Williams again. That's about rebound number 5. Hands it off to Tafata. She can't put it away off the glass. There's a foul called, and I think Lucy Elliott might find her way to the baseline to bring it in. Giving up that height, what do Wellington East need to do in this game and do well? In fact, there's an early time out here, so I think that Coach Voldi Simi might be talking long and hard about rebounding here.
I think you're right there, Justin. I think they're going to need to take all 5 players really to box out, make sure they're hitting the play and chasing that ball hard, and then taking advantage of that speed.
Well, there's a really good indication there, Tomo. I mean, it is, you look at the height there, it is very much even across all 5 players, isn't it?
For sure, which has some advantages in terms of switching and stuff, and gives them the opportunity to, like, if there's not much disadvantage if they were to switch in the pick and roll or any off-ball screens and such. But as we've seen, offensive rebounds, second chance points or from the free throw line, they're already committed 2 fouls, Justin, and as we can see, there's about 8 minutes left in the first quarter, so that could be a factor. It could give New Plymouth the opportunity to slow down, take a breath, and negate that speed disadvantage.
Have you enjoyed the Invitational tournament so far? Because usually this time of the year, there's 70+ teams here, and the whole place across all 9 courts is going crazy. How good is it just to have basketball back?
Oh, I'm loving it, Justin. You know, I love watching hoops in my spare time, so I'm just wrapped to have the opportunity to be here with you and the other staff, and it's just beautiful.
Here's Williams inside. That's a very strong basket. What a great set piece off the baseline by New Plymouth. Williams finishing the hard work, and she'll go to the line for the 3-point play. That was excellent setup by New Plymouth.
They've started off as they need to, I think, Justin. New Plymouth not playing with anything to lose. They're playing hard, and as we've seen again, just yet another second chance opportunity and more foul trouble. Oh no, that's a triple.
So definitely the tail of the tape in the opening minute and a half is, unless Wellington East can find a way to keep New Plymouth off the glass, it could be a long afternoon. They're going to have to land some outside blows as well, and that's exactly what was delivered right there by Ross Simi. Foul called. Now this might be against, it's gone against Thompson Laulu. Here's Ross Simi out on the wing, and look at that, that's a beautiful finish. They're going to need a lot of that today, those outside shots. Not sure they're going to get too many second looks, Tomai. It's going to be hard in the paint at both ends. Nice rebound on that occasion by Tate Jones. Away they come with some quick transition, Wellington East. Saw them play last night. I was really impressed with their shooting, especially early in the game against Napier. Tafata pushing it up the floor, a little bit too deep. And Wellington East will get it back. Did you see much of that game last night, the game that went into overtime? Wellington East and Napier?
Against Napier.
Yeah.
The thing that impressed me most about Wellington East is when they'd get a rebound, like some of their outlet passes were just bang on, right where they needed the player to be running. Accurate, and gave them a lot of opportunities right.
They do like an outside shot. Thompson Laulu puts that one away, and we've now seen 2 from downtown for Wellington East. It's going to be a part of their game to watch closely this afternoon. Travel called against Ali Williams. And Wellington East lead this one 8-2. They did a very similar thing last night against Napier. They came out of the blocks and they shot well early. Let's see what they can do here again. They're going to go from deep. Second opportunity. Off her own shot was Thompson Laulu. New Plymouth with a chance to answer. Loose pass. And that's probably 3 turnovers off passes for New Plymouth early in this game. Got to make them stick.
Can't afford to lose the ball after creating second chance opportunities off the offensive rebounds. Can't give them back through a few loose areas, but I'm sure they'll be working to fix that.
Let's see what Wellington East can do. Patia. Just the 8-player rotation. Pass inside was a good one. Finish inside was a good one. Thompson Laulu again. So she's been prominent early in this game. There's Tafata pinned in on the sideline. Again, passes just aren't sticking. Williams battling for it. And we have a possession arrow. Early thoughts, Tomai. 10-2, Wellington East lead this one.
I think Wellington are just a little bit more poised offensively. They space the floor well, as we spoke about earlier. All 5 players, they play a very positionless style, and well, Thompson Laulu has already, I believe, got 2 from the 3-point line and 1 right under the rim. So that's been the difference so far, to be quite honest. But this offensive rebounding will give them chances to peel that lead back.
Well, they've got to hit the shots at the same time. You can
100%.
take as many offensive rebounds as you want, but you've got to make the next one stick. Nice work, and a big, big block from Lucy Elliott. I thought it was excellent work by Tate Jones to get to the basket. Lucy Elliott up to the task with the block, and back the other way. Tafata rewards the defense.
Elliott did it all there, got the block, collected the rebound, brought the ball up the court, and then finds the open player for 3. And as you said, Justin, they hit the shot just as they needed to.
10-5, doing the heavy work inside. Thompson Laulu, another deep outside shot for Wellington East. They're going to pepper away. Short on the ring, Tate Jones. Williams with the rebound, long up the court. Good outlet pass to Lucy Elliott, and she finishes off. So some good points there for New Plymouth. They needed it just to steady and settle. A few gaps in the defense there. Some holes. Again, Wellington East. I think we're going to see a lot of this outside shooting, Tomai. Are you an outside shooter yourself? I saw you down on court warming up earlier on before we came on air.
If you saw me earlier, Justin, you'd know the answer. You'd know the answer. Still need a bit of practicing, but
Well, I saw you head down to the court. I'll be honest, I wasn't exactly watching whether the shots were going in.
Nothing like a few shots between games, Justin. Keep the court warm.
No, I like it. Travel called on that occasion against Tate Jones. And New Plymouth will take possession. What have you thought so far of the competition? Just having a look over the teams. I've been really impressed with the pressure D. Most teams I've seen really have got another, exhibition of it right there. Just getting right up and putting pressure on. I've been really impressed with the defense, especially in the mid-court.
For sure, Justin. I think it's almost essential that all coaches at this level have some sort of pressure defense just to create more opportunities to get the ball back on offense and get fast break points. But it's a game of pressure. It's all about how well you can deal with the opposition pressure and how much pressure you can deal to your own opposition. And, well, that time, just a little bit too aggressive with the blocking foul.
Well, you mentioned before that fouls could be an issue early here for Wellington East. In the bonus right now, New Plymouth with Lauren Tafata at the line, who couldn't convert. But one thing to keep an eye out for here, Tomai, is 5 team fouls already and only an 8-player rotation for Wellington East. So they can't keep going at this rate, can they?
Definitely not, Justin. And as we spoke about, they've got 4 minutes in the bonus now, and there could be a big part. And New Plymouth will be happy to get off to a great start.
Travel called against
make up for it.
Lauren Tafata. Lauren Tafata, by the way, is a player who has been seen at a Basketball New Zealand selection camp. So she's on that pathway at the moment, which so many of the players that we've seen at this Invitational are. We've seen the Basketball New Zealand high performance manager, Leonard King, down watching games, which is great to see. You know, for a lot of these players, certainly for the best part of 3 months, they probably weren't too sure that they were going to get back out there this year.
You're right, Justin, and as we spoke about earlier, that's a foul about 90 feet away from the basket, and now they get to walk all the way down to the free throw line.
And I reckon that's 6 fouls at the moment so far this quarter on Wellington East. You'd want to be sharing the fouls around, because if my maths are correct with 8 players, you've only got 40 to give.
That's right, Justin.
Mind you, that's still a fair bit. Wellington East, by the way, finished 14th at the Nationals in 2019. And New Plymouth weren't here.
Wellington East also the Wellington Secondary Schools champs this year, 2020.
So they come in with a bit of form here at Central Energy Trust Arena in Palmerston North. We're with Stacey earlier on in this morning's game, and like Stacey, Mr. Fado fires away. You're a local here in Palmerston North. It really is a basketball city, isn't it? They love their hoops.
It is, and it's growing and growing. If you look at the age grade representative levels over the last 10 years, they've done really well on the national stage for a smaller association. But quick shout out to Basketball 102. You know, they do the hard work behind the scenes to give us the best opportunities we can as a local entity to put a bit of work in, and it's growing locally and nationally.
And we should mention, of course, your younger brother was one of the players up at the Sells NBL Showdown, one of the first players to get back on court in the country in that event. Spent 6 weeks living away from home. Was it nice and quiet without him?
Oh, it's definitely quiet, Justin. The flat was a little bit tidier too. Hopefully he's not listening. Actually, I know he's not listening. He's just walked in to do a bit of training on the other courts parallel. But yeah, he loved the experience. You know, something different. But these guys that are at their level love the sport, so they love being around other like-minded individuals who are wanting to put the training in. So he enjoyed it.
Well, it has been an indifferent year, no doubt about that. Lucy Elliott at the line for New Plymouth. Great to see secondary school basketball being played across the country right now. Coming to you on Sky Sport Next. There's been games in Hamilton and Te Aroha. And of course here in Palmerston North. Nice little hesitation dribble by Thompson Laulu. And that draws the foul. Really like the way she changed up the dribble then. Caught the defense off guard. Found her way through for the shot. And we've got a timeout. So when we come back, Thompson Laulu will go to the line for a couple of shots. It's a close one early. Just 10 points apiece as New Plymouth searching for their first win. And of course, Wellington East are 1-1. Now, whilst we have the timeout, we should talk about the pools and how they look here in this competition. There's 2 pools of 5. So in Pool A, St Peter's of Cambridge, who are the favourites here. Let's put that on the table. Sacred Heart College, New Plymouth. Those 2 teams play later tonight. Fielding High, Queen Margaret College, and Sacred Heart College, Lower Hutt. That's Pool A. Pool B is Rotorua, Wellington East, Napier, Mount Maunganui, who have been very good so far, and New Plymouth. Mount Maunganui will finish in the top 2. So right now, Wellington East, they want to keep winning here to give themselves a chance. That Wellington East Rotorua matchup coming up tonight, that could be the decider to see who gets through to the semi-finals.
If Wellington East can pick up the intensity in this one and finish strong, albeit against a tough opposition today who have turned up to play, that game tonight will well and truly be the decider in terms of who seeds second in Pool B. Justin?
What are your thoughts early in this game?
New Plymouth, you know, they're here to play for sure. They've got Wellington into a bit of foul trouble. They've just got to come up with a plan or devise something to stop Hini Takawa Thompson Lolu, who I believe has 9 of the first 11 points. And they give up an offensive rebound as well, which can't happen when you're the bigger team. Got to box out the shooters.
And she's done well here to set that shot up. Thompson Lalu's been very prominent early in this game. New Plymouth back the other way, heading down towards quarter time. Been an entertaining game so far. On the dribble, big steps to the basket. Up and under from Lucy Elliott. Couldn't put it away. Deep shot off the glass for New Plymouth. No score. And it might be a foul there on Emma Gilmore, who took the shot at the other end. And right now, Wellington East, you mentioned it before, they get on the move quick, don't they? And New Plymouth have been caught off guard a couple of times. Here's Thompson Lolu again. Wonderful start to this game. Great shooting action off that left hand. No trouble with the second shot either. So a 3-point lead to Wellington East. And they're putting that pressure up the floor. I like this. We saw this earlier on this morning from Rotorua. Pressure up the floor is good. Nice little turn back to basket from Opal Hardy. Still a chance inside. Foul is called against New Plymouth. That'll be against Matarea Ray. And is that their 4th? It is. So both teams in the bonus now with 1:41 to play. Wellington East setting up here, using some high screens and a deep, deep shot for 3. Falls well short. That was Sophia Birdsall with the shot, and she's fouled back the other way. So we've seen a lot of shots from the foul line in this first quarter. Some substitutions. New Plymouth. Ellie Williams comes back onto the floor. Lucy Elliott at the line for 2. I was saying to somebody before we came into this game, because of course we get to see these teams for the first time here, and calling the girls' games quite often is a lot harder when you're looking at players from behind, and Lucy Elliott's a great example there. You can't see the number on the back of the singlet because of the hair. Right. It's amazing how many times that happens.
Especially with this Wellington East team, is they've all got really long hair and they've got the matching hair ties to match.
Yep.
The pink and blue hair ties, all of them have them.
Good pressure. Elliott again, she's been very good in this first quarter, finds her way to the basket. Couldn't put it away, some good defense on that occasion by Tate Jones. Back the other way. Opportunity here off the set shot from Caitlin Curtis, a miss. And is there a foul on the rebound? There is. And I think that's gone against Tate Jones, who wasn't quite sure. It looked like both players going for the rebound there, so maybe the referee's just seen an arm over the top, or not too sure. But the end result is going to be Ellie Williams having a look at a couple of shots for New Plymouth. Puts away the first.
Just another thing to bring up, Justin. Coach Evaldi Simi decided to leave Ross Simeon, and she picked up her 3rd foul just a possession ago. So early trouble there in terms of fouls for Wellington East. First quarter, and as we mentioned multiple times already, they've got a short rotation, so put some pressure on themselves there.
Yeah, it's definitely going to put some pressure on rotations. Second shot coming up here for Ella Williams. Misses that one, rebound Mercury. And away they come. Again, that quick transition is something that Wellington East are going to deliver all game long, you feel. Maybe it's a ball lucky there not to get picked up for a foul. Here's the captain, Liana Smith. Out to the wing, Hardy. Now there's a foul off the ball here.
3 seconds, I think. Yeah.
Was it 3 seconds? You're right, against Ella Williams.
They're definitely trying to get it down to her down there on the block.
Well, we're hoping for a nice, close contest. And if the rest of the game lives up to this first quarter, I think we'll be pretty happy because no team has found a way to get on top early. In the best use of the term, it's been a real scrap so far, hasn't it? A lot of fouls called. There's another one. Was that on Williams again? No, it wasn't. Or it might have been. It was a 3 second down the other way, wasn't it? So that might be her first foul on Ella Williams. That's a player that New Plymouth will be hoping to keep out there for the majority of this game. They do have a distinctive height advantage.
That foul definitely hurts Coach Cleaver. 6 seconds left and we put them on the line. Luckily she only splits the free throw, but they'll get one last chance here.
Prescott, 1 of 2 from the line on that occasion. Elliott up strong with the pass, and Williams fouled right on the buzzer. Will she go to the line for a couple, or was that the call for the end of the quarter? Call for the end of the quarter. There you go. I thought it was a foul being called. So end of the first quarter, 14 plays 12. Not a lot in it. Probably the biggest talking point from the opening 10 minutes sits with Wellington East. Not only are they fouling, they're tripping over signs as well by the looks of it. That foul count will be something to keep an eye on, won't it?
For sure, Justin. Also another thing, you know, Thompson Lolu comes out with 11 quick first quarter points. That's 11 of their 14. So if New Plymouth can limit her opportunities on offense, and they could be looking really good here the second quarter. I'm sure it'll be a point of emphasis.
The Girls Central Invitational Tournament proudly presented by, a big thanks to Basketball New Zealand, Sky Sport Next, NTEC, Basketball Manawatu, Sport Manawatu, and Palmerston North City Council, and of course our great partners at Inspire, Glory League and Moulton. For all details of all of these games happening around the country, www.nz.basketball, and of course you can pick up lots of news on social media as well at Basketball NZ. So quarter time here, nothing in this game, just a 2-point margin. 14 plays 12. Wellington East leading at the moment. New Plymouth still without a win in this tournament. 0-3, 1-1 Wellington East. And of course, as we mentioned, they've got a big game coming up later tonight against Rotorua, as they look to try and force their way into a top 2 finish. 2 pools of 5 here, 10 teams. Top 2 from each pool go through to the semi-finals tomorrow. We'll have that action for you. And then, of course, the grand final tomorrow night from Palmerston North. And in an indifferent year, Tomai, usually there would be, as we said, more than 70 teams here. I think the secondary school championships, the build-up, and then, of course, the big competition that takes place here. Last year featured about 390 teams and 4,500 players. So it's a monster of a competition.
Sure is, Justin. The arena is very loud at that time of the year, albeit with good energy. Just happy that we get our youth out there onto the courts, and I'm sure they're grateful to have the opportunity to come down for tournament week.
What's it been like down here midweek. This is a 9-court facility, let's not forget that. So what's it been like with people being able to return to training and seeing their friends and competition and all those sorts of things? What's it been like to turn the key and open the door on the venue here in Palmerston North once again and just see people back out there with a ball in their hands? Good shot, good basket there for Wellington East. What's it been like?
It's been great for sure, you know. During the secondary school competition, for the duration of that, we had COVID restrictions, and then the local Premier Men's Comp, we returned to level 1 right on cue for the Wednesday night final, so it was good. Bit of a build-up in terms of that, and in the sense that on the week-to-week basis, it was just the 2 teams involved, officials and the basketball 102 staff. But on the final week, we were allowed a crowd again, so it was a clear and obvious lift.
Smith brings the ball in, and a big shot for Opal Hardy. Great three-pointer. 17-15. Both teams have come out in this second quarter firing. Here's Tate Jones. Hands it off to Mercury. Working her way in, Thompson Lelou, who had a very good first quarter, and nails another one from deep range. I think that's 13 points now for Thompson Lelou. Williams inside, twisting and turning. Couldn't finish. Good pick up there by the captain, Smith. Outside, deep shot again from Hardy. Couldn't finish. Rebound, Tate Jones. And away come Wellington East. Thompson Lelou. I do apologise. I've probably pronounced her name 7 different ways so far. Thompson Lelou. Hopefully we got that right.
Just speaks as much as how often we've had to speak of it.
Yeah, absolutely. She's had a terrific start to this game. Here's Caitlin Curtis, just looking to settle things down. Calls that high screen up from Chloe Mercury. Nice move inside. Couldn't finish the shot, Tate Jones. Off the glass, though. Looked like Prescott with the points. Isabella Tate Jones. Older brother?
Niwa, I believe. Just head over to the States.
College, yeah. So a very good basketball family in Wellington. Sizing up from outside. There is Tate Jones. Finds its way to Thompson Lelou again. Good ball movement from Wellington East. Prescott with the long shot, couldn't finish. 15-21, Wellington East leading this one. Pressure's going to be on them as it was last night to run the game out. Tate Jones at the University of Hawaii. A lot of good basketballers have come out of that program. Tafata with a long three, goes in after the rebound and comes off second best. In fact, plenty of bodies on the floor right now. I think I counted 5 at one stage. Game of Skittles. Definitely getting
there.
After it, yeah. Good to see.
Teams.
It's going to be a new Plymouth ball. Liana Smith to bring it in. So far averaging 10 points a game in this tournament, Liana Smith. Tafata inside. Williams back to Tafata for the 3, nails it. I like the way we've seen that a couple of times now with Lauren Tafata. As soon as she takes the shot, she follows it in. She's looking for that rebound should the shot miss. And that's one of those basics you teach kids from a very early age, isn't it?
For sure. No one knows better than you how the shot may have missed as you release it. So you've got the opportunity, especially if you know that your shot is off, to follow it up and create your team a second chance opportunity.
Good ball, quick play by Wellington East. Thompson Lelou getting it up the court for Tate Jones. Speaking of points, Isabella Tate Jones, 17.5 points a game yesterday. Offensive foul called against New Plymouth, much to the excitement of Wellington East coach Voldy Simi. Sporting the beanie. It's not that cold in here, is it? Are you cold?
I don't think so. Justin?
Just see in the background there climbing the stairs.
I think it might be just his pacing up and up and down the court. He's a really animated character for sure. It's worth the price of admission, which is free.
Just saw Keith Mayer walk into the stadium, former Tall Blacks coach, just taking his seat up in the stands, getting around and watching plenty of basketball. Tafada getting it back outside for Georgia Eldershaw. What a shot that was. And a couple of big baskets for New Plymouth. Keeps the game tight. Back the other way. A little bit too much on it for Prescott. Tafada, who's predominantly right-handed, forces the ball out, gets possession back for New Plymouth. Here she is now, the number 6. Directing some traffic. Some good defense on that occasion by Thompson Lolu, who has been a standout player in this first half, Tomo. You must be impressed with what she's done. Here she is now.
100%, Justin. She's playing both sides. She's aggressive on offense. She's doing it all for her team so far this game. Early days, though.
Hinatakawa, Thompson Lolu has been very prominent for Wellington East. Ringing the changes on the sideline, Wellington East. We've mentioned it a few times. Rotation of just 8 players. Patia under a little bit of pressure now. May have drawn the foul. She has.
Definitely a quality 8 players though, Justin. They just had 2 of their starters on the bench there and held their own for sure. They've just checked back in, albeit with 3 fouls on Ross Simi so far, so that'll be something to watch. Number 9 for Wellington East.
Phoenix Patia at the line for 2. Averaged 12.5 points in Wellington East's 2 games on day 1. They had a loss to Mount Maunganui by 9 points, which in the greater scheme of things, given how Mount Maunganui are travelling at the moment, is a pretty good effort. And then they defeated Napier last night in an overtime thriller, 79-74. That was a great game to watch. Long shot, Liana Smith comes up short. Again, the big rebounds by Ella Williams. She's fouled. And we'll go back to the charity stripe for a couple of shots.
You must be hitting near double digits on those rebounds.
Probably there right now, you're right. Ella Williams. Probably or possibly one of the tallest players here in this competition.
I think you'll be right there.
Playing as a true centre. First one, second one, no. Back they come the other way, Wellington East again. They like to hustle the ball up the floor as quick as they can. Tate Jones, Patia, long way out, just short. Williams, big rebound. Surely double digits by now. She's fouled. And that foul count.
They flipped the script.
Something to keep an eye on. Just the second one of the quarter for Wellington East.
They adjusted well from their first quarter, and New Plymouth have gone the opposite. They're already in the bonus.
Scoring has dried up a little bit here in the last couple of minutes. Central Invitational Tournament for secondary schoolgirls. 10 teams here, including 3 of the top 6 finishing teams from the Nationals last year. St Peter's of Cambridge finished first. They're the national champions. Queen Margaret finished 5th. Sacred Heart Girls New Plymouth finished 6th in 2019. Seems so long ago, doesn't it, Tomai?
For sure. Speaks to the strength of these 2 zones there that make up the teams of the competition. Really competitive. And as we were speaking about earlier, we've got Mount Maunganui in this Pool B. Napier Girls, who had an overtime fixture against Wellington East. And as well as Rotorua Girls High School,
who we saw this morning. They were very strong this morning against Napier. That was a very impressive win, 70-31 this morning. They led 22-4 at quarter time in that game.
And then we see one of the teams that are looking to fill that second seed for this pool, having a tight fixture with New Plymouth Girls High School, who haven't had the results go their way, but they're fighting in this game. So show some good competition in Pool B here.
Hinatakawa, Thompson, Lolu at the line for 2 as Tomai readies his pen to keep adding points.
She's adept at that free throw line.
Leading scorer in the game so far, Thompson Lolu. And just as you wrap them up, it always happens. That next shot doesn't drop. Smith, Tafata, wants to go to the basket off that right, scoops it in for 2. 28-23, heading towards halftime. Open shot, Patia. Can't put it away. Tafata with the rebound. She's off and running. 2-on-1 situation. She'll go alone and scoop it off that right a second time. Back-to-back baskets for Lauren Tafata. Closes the gap to just 3. Balanced and set. Thompson Lolu can't put it away. Tafata with the rebound again. Will she go 3 from 3 here?
Great pass.
Smith, Williams fouled. She'll go to the line and take another couple of looks. So a good passage of 60 to 90 seconds here for New Plymouth as they look to close in towards half-time. They've reduced the margin to just 3. Ella Williams misses the first. It's been very impressive in the first half. Dominant force. Second is a miss as well. So some work to do from the foul line. Under a bit of pressure as Patia goes straight at her back the other way. Shot came from Ross Simi. Now a second effort from Curtis. Miss. And Tafata away again. They've got to pull up this dribble because she's done this a few times now, and that's an excellent pass to Smith. How was the block, though, from Caitlin Curtis? Came from nowhere. Wouldn't mind getting another look at that one. Fantastic block. Patia with the miss. Putting it back up, Caitlin Curtis, who's getting the applause from the sidelines. What do you think of that?
It's definitely a great block, Justin, but I'm just as impressed at how quickly New Plymouth girls went straight into their pressure defence and just kept their heads up, albeit allowing an offensive rebound and a putback as the foul's called there.
Ella Williams over the back. Here's the replay. Tafata, Smith, bang. Great block coming across by Caitlin Curtis. Very impressive. And we're going to see a couple of shots here as Ella Williams takes a seat. Now that's either her second or third personal. Second it is. And Phoenix Patia will go to the line for a couple. She's had her hands on the ball a fair bit the last few minutes. Nice action. Nice technique. That lead at 6. Patia. He's got the routine. And all net. Takes that lead out to 7. Let's see if New Plymouth can answer. Tafata. One way, then the other. They find the extra pass in the corner. Was it Smith out there? I think it was. Again, a scramble. And another possession arrow called. It'll go the way of New Plymouth. Lauren Tafata to bring it in to Smith. Tafata in the corner, has space and can't put it away. Rebound underneath. Heavy work done by Ray. Here's Smith. Is there a travel there? Ray has it now. One dribble, pulls it up, nowhere to go. Great defense. Wellington East come away. They get on the run straight away. Patia gets it across to Rossimi. Basket and a foul. Very impressive. It all started at the defensive end.
Some quality defense there from Wellington East. Just keep their hands active, moved their feet, pressured the ball well, picked up the pass in the passing lane.
And that lead out to 9 now, Tomai, so they're on the move, Wellington East, aren't they?
For sure. And they've been the better team on the free throw line, and they show it again as Lauren Tefata goes to the bench. So they're going to need to find a spark here on offense.
Critical 90 seconds coming up for New Plymouth. Got to find a score and not turn the ball over. That second part is proving hard. Mataria Ray with the foul, and that's going to put Wellington East back to the line again. So a further chance to stretch this margin. Who's at the line? It's Caitlin Curtis. Had that impressive block just before. What do you think of the uniforms, both teams? You a bit of a uniforms man? Do you like styles everything in basketball?
For sure.
How many singlets you got in the cupboard at home? You got a few in the wardrobe?
Yeah, I've had the opportunity to design a couple uniforms for a couple teams that I'm involved with, and I know it's definitely harder than you think. So I just big shout out to those that awarded that responsibility. As we said, a lovely fast break
transition. Patia finishing it off. Well, you did speak about that. You've spoken about it the whole first half, Tomai. Their love of getting the ball going and moving in transition. And once again, it led to another impressive basket. And this has been a really impressive run the last few minutes, hasn't it? Here's this offensive transition again. Great work.
Never where the player is, you know, when they throw that outlet pass, it's always where they need the player to be. So it's impressive.
Inside the last minute, Wellington East have really made a run at this, and another basket. Ross Simi, who's out there with those 3 fouls, and it's now a 14-point margin, Wellington East. And a turnover, chance to add to it before half-time. Patia, again, they're quick up the floor, the give and go, back through the middle, draws the foul, and she'll go back to the foul line.
They're locked in on the defensive end, Wellington East. They know that it sparks so much of their offense. So they're doing the hard work where it matters and getting the easy opportunities.
Well, they're giving away height. The first minute of this game, we saw New Plymouth take probably 5 or 6 offensive rebounds. But since then, Wellington East, not only when they get the rebound, but every time they do, they go. They clear out as quickly as they can. There's no doubt it's a decisive attribute of their game. Can New Plymouth score before half-time? Good drive to the basket by Liana Smith. Couldn't finish. And with just a second to go, you would think we're looking at a 15-point margin at half-time. That'll be it. That won't count. So at half-time, in this Pool B game, Central Invitational Tournament here in Palmerston North, Wellington East 40, lead New Plymouth 25. Excellent second quarter to the ladies from the capital city of New Zealand. Tomai Hapango, your thoughts?
Just that last 3 or 4 minutes run from the Wellington East girls, I think they take the momentum into the half. So it's up to the coach to dial up some adjustments for New Plymouth girls onto how they can dial that back in the third quarter.
So half-time here, Wellington East searching for a berth in the semi-finals. They have to keep winning, and they're looking good at the moment. That 8-player rotation getting the job done. They lead at half-time over New Plymouth, 40-25 on Sky Sport Next. We'll be back right after this.
culture of the Tall Ferns is absolutely amazing. We're essentially a family. I would call all of them my sisters. Our leadership, our coaches, our management staff, everyone, there's just such a good feel, and it feels like such a family and such a good vibe, and I think that's why on court you can see that we just all click and work together.
Basketball can open up so many doorways and so many paths. There's no limits. You can take the sport anywhere.
The women's game's definitely growing. I think it's awesome to see. Just in general, basketball growing in New Zealand is cool. So to get the women and young girls playing basketball, that's a big key for us.
We're quite often the underdogs, you know, we're always a hustling team. We've always been a real grinder to the end team. Making the most of the moment is like a huge part of our culture.
Any international game that I get to play for the Tall Ferns is always an honour, but we play tough, we're very aggressive, we hustle for each other. Everything we do, we know we're doing for our teammates, that they've got our back, we've got theirs as well.
Young kids, just like in general, I think just whatever you set your mind to, like you can do whatever you want to do, you know? Like you just got to put in the dedication and the determination to do it, and you can do it.
I think a good message to young girls is kia kaha, kia mai, kia manawa nui. That just really means, you know, be strong, be fierce, and be mindful of others. You know, you've got your teammates next to you, and look after them, look after yourself. And just represent yourself with mana, with pride, as well as your country.
Welcome back to the Secondary Schools Girls Central Invitational Tournament on Sky Sport Next. Great to have you with us in Palmerston North. Justin Nelson and Tomai Apango with you. Great basketball city, great part of the world. The weather's been fantastic the last couple of days. Must say I've been very impressed. I hear the wind is blowing in Wellington, as it always is, so nice to get out and experience the weather up here in Palmerston North. Speaking of Wellington, Wellington East leading this Pool B game at half-time. Impressive second quarter. They lead New Plymouth 40-25. There's New Plymouth on screen. A little bit of work to do. Still searching for their first win of this competition. Wellington East hoping to go 2-1. Let's have a look at what's coming up later today on Sky Sport Next. Games from across the country at the moment in secondary schools, but here in Palmerston North, Fielding and Queen Margaret at 5:45, and then tonight, Tomai, you're going to rejoin me for this one this evening. Sacred Heart New Plymouth up against St Peters, and that should be a cracker.
Definitely, Justin, I'm looking forward to that one. I think that will be it's a good chance that decides the
Top
number
two.
one seed of Pool A, so make sure you tune into that one.
And Fielding coming up at 5:45. High school just up the road from here.
It is local, or as local as it can get at the moment. Fielding High School, Kawa. Not too far from my own alma mater there, Hotapota College. So quick shout out to Hotapota and Fielding.
Is there a bit of a rivalry there between those two schools over the years?
Oh, I wouldn't say that too much, Justin. They gave us a good lesson earlier in the year on the basketball court, but they're a little bit bigger than us, so have a lot of respect for those guys. Darren Larson and a good few of my mates have come through Fielding, so quick mention to those guys.
Nice. There's a fair bit of basketball coming up, by the way, at the back end of this year. Of course, it has been a very challenging 2020, not only for basketball, not only for sport, but for everybody in life. It's been a challenge, there's no doubt about that. But there is a fair bit of basketball coming up at the back end of this year. The Aon Under 15 and Under 17 National Championships, October 24 to 26. The Chic 3x3 Cup for the NBL, 10 men's teams, 10 women's teams. That's 12 to 14 November down in Invercargill. And then, of course, you've got the Cells NBL 18 in 18 women's season coming up from November 19. That location will be announced shortly, but great to see the National League for Women back out there. And, of course, live on Sky Sports. So lots of basketball still to come in 2020, believe it or not.
It's great, Justin. You know, it gives good to see the women's NBL come back. Gives another avenue for these young ladies to aspire to be a part of. So it's great news there.
Good basket to start the second half. Hinatakawa, Thompson, Lolu. Really taking off from what she delivered in the first half. She's well on her way towards 20 points in this game. Smith, nice little pass to Williams. Probably didn't need to dribble it in the end. Here's Tafata right on the shot clock buzzer. Couldn't put it away, and again, very quick transition from Wellington East to start this third quarter. Patea, nice shot. When they're set and they're balanced, they're a very good shooting team, Wellington East. Turnover back the other way doesn't help either for New Plymouth. Let's have a look at this shot. Just a handoff, wasn't it? To Patea from Caitlin Curtis. Just snuck around the back there and said, I'll have a look at this. They score again. That lead, believe it or not now, Tomai, is out to 21 points.
Yeah, the momentum from the end of the second quarter has obviously loosened them up, and they're just playing freely now at the moment. It's going to be a tough road back for New Plymouth, but let's see what they can do.
Patea, who's been instrumental from probably early in the second quarter. Tabor had the shot and missed. New Plymouth come up with it. They need to score. They need to get some back-to-back baskets. Liana Smith, set from outside, looks a little to the right and is. Good camera angle on that one. Patea once again, doing the work at mid-court. Rossini bustles her way through to the basket. Off the glass for two. Where's the contact? And she'll go to the line for a bonus. Timeout called. New Plymouth, early in this third quarter, need to stop and have a chat. That 15-point halftime lead is now out to 21.
You could hear Voldy Simi and the girls on the bench urging the team to run and fast break, and it just puts the defense on their back foot. And then obviously you hear Ross Simi finish the and one, and sometimes there's nothing like an and one to get the bench going. So they'll be filled with energy at the moment. They're going to be a tough team to stop for the rest of this quarter. Timely timeout though.
Tell us a little bit about girls basketball. We've got some great advertising there for Girls Got Game, national program right across basketball in New Zealand. Fantastic program for girls looking to get into the game. But tell me a little bit about girls basketball here in Palmerston North.
The girls scene here in Palmerston North, especially at the secondary school level, is quite competitive. We've got the fielding girls who are here with us at the moment. We've got Manukura as well, who have won a couple single A-grade nationals in the girls grade. We've had Tararua College, who have been strong the last couple of years, so it's good locally. They all play a similar style in terms of very high pressure defense. They want to run early, they want to move the ball around. And the thing that I enjoy about watching the young ladies play is they're really energetic on the bench. They're not as shy as our young boys. They love to get behind each other. And to be honest, I think that's been the difference at the moment for Wellington East in this one. I
know there's a real desire in this part of the country as well to get a future team into the National League as well for Palmerston North. There's a real desire to see that happen in the future. So definitely about the pathway, isn't it? Through the schools program, well, starting at Girls Got Game, and through the schools programs, no doubt we'll see a team from Palmerston North in the future. Wellington East back at it again, shooting from outside. That one over the top. And New Plymouth with a chance to try and reduce this margin. It really has jumped out quickly, hasn't it? Let's see what they can do. Bring the ball across halfway. Williams, Smith. Inside, 3 to beat in the end for Opal Hardy. She's drawn a foul there, and she'll go to the line for 2. Now, do you follow Aussie rules football at all?
Oh, definitely not as much as you, Justin. All I know is they wear really tight singlets and show the guns. It's very physical.
Well, the reason I bring that up is the uniform for New Plymouth. Yeah. Those colours very much belong to a team called the Melbourne Demons.
Demons, that's
in the
an interesting
AFL,
name.
The Melbourne Demons. And they've got that blue and red colour, and the jumpers or the Guernseys they wear aren't too dissimilar to the New Plymouth uniform. That's probably about as much an Australian sport that I'll give you today.
Also the V-neck pattern.
Yes.
It's definitely a common reoccurrence in the NRL,
yes.
the rugby league scene. So.
Yes, it is. Here's a chance for Wellington East. In the corner for 3. Tate Jones couldn't put it away. I'll tell you who can put it away is Hinatakawa Thompson Lolu again. A nice little jump shot. He's got a lovely shooting action. Anybody watching that wants to talk about shooting technique and fundamentals, she's got the full package. 3 seconds in the key by the looks of it against Ella Williams. I have been impressed with a lot of the technique and fundamentals that I've seen the last couple of days. The coaching at school level across the board here in New Zealand is very good.
I think it's probably the most common, speaking about pathways for coaches to take their next step up, is to get amongst the secondary school program,
yep.
for sure, and make their impact felt, like Coach Voldy is doing at the moment.
Isabella Tate-Jones handing off to Phoenix Patia. Using a handoff either wing, and there's the third one. Let's see if they can finish. It'll be Thompson Lolu again for 3. You better add those 3 points, don't miss that. What a game she's had. Hard ball inside from Smith. That's a hard pass to take. Wellington East back the other way. Thompson Lolu fouled. We'll go to the line for another couple of looks.
We're looking at a massive scoring performance for her now. She's just gone over 21 with that 3, and there's still a good 15 minutes to play. It's been a big part of the game from the get-go, has Thompson Lolu, and now her mates are just getting on the back of it, and the score is getting a little bit far apart, but gonna have to keep the energy high, New Plymouth girls.
One of the things I really enjoy on the weekends in Wellington, I'm based in Wellington, you get out and you have a walk around, when the sun's out, mind you, you have a walk around, and they've got an outdoor basketball set up down near the skate park, and gee, the kids flock in there on the weekends, shooting hoops, boys and girls, with their mates. Always going past there for a walk. Great to hear the sound of the basketball bouncing and the kids having fun. So see that most weekends.
For sure, and you know what they say, you can't beat Welly on a good day.
Can't beat it on a good day.
Can't beat Welly on a good day.
I just stick to that. That's as far as I go. Ross Simi for 3.
It's just a bit of a shame that they can be few and far apart, especially with that wind going.
No, come on.
Be something to blame my broken jumper on the wind, you know.
Tafada with a long corner 3 is a miss. There's a foul on the rebound. We'll just stick with you can't beat it on a good day. Been a very impressive game here by Wellington East. I must admit, when I saw them last night against Napier, when they got going, especially early in that game, they were very impressive, and they've shown that again here today. They look like a potential semi-finalist, Tomai.
For sure. They'll be taking good confidence from their performance so far in this game. Hopefully they can ride it out throughout the 4 quarters and just take that momentum into their fixture tonight. Just gone into a 2-3 zone has New Plymouth girls. They've let a couple of open shots through. Be interesting to see how long they keep up with that decision.
And while we're pumping up Wellington, New Plymouth is also a lovely part of the world as well. Lauren Tafada off the glass for 2. I've had the chance to go up there a few times. Of course, the backdrop of Mount Taranaki. It's a wonderful part of the world.
Beautiful, beautiful part of the world, especially with the mountain, as you mentioned. Down there in Ngā Motu, or New Plymouth.
Wellington East again with that handoff. Oh, this is a long, deep shot off the glass for Ross Simi. New Plymouth to take possession. Was impressed with the crowd here last night as well. There's people that come in scattered throughout the day, but last night, a lot of people down here enjoying the basketball. It was good to see. It's free entry, of course. You can come in and watch any game and support the girls.
It's great. I'm expecting a big crowd at the 5:45 fielding game. No excuses for the
Locals
fielding
will come
family,
in.
for sure.
What is it,
For sure.
10-minute drive, 15-minute drive?
Or might be closer to 20, Justin.
Okay.
Yep. Just a little bit closer,
Bring the crowd in. I like it.
depending on that post-work traffic, of course.
It's a Friday night. Usually knock off at about 2 in New Zealand on a Friday, don't you? Hey?
Those shots fired, just don't make me hear. I've heard some stories about those Aussie tradies.
Some points there for New Plymouth, badly needed. 30-point margin now for Wellington East. Probably since the couple of minutes into the second quarter, they've really dominated this game.
Just getting into the creases of the zone now. They attack and drive aggressively, this Wellington East team, and they know how to use their footwork to create themselves a better angle. That time pays off for them, and they get another trip to the line.
Nice step through to the basket by Isabella Tate-Jones. She's had a very good game. Let's have a look at the technique. In and out.
She's got the shoulder sleeves rolled up. It's becoming more common amongst the youth.
Yep, it is.
Just showing off the shoulder muscles there.
You definitely see that a lot at senior level. Tate-Jones makes the second substitution. Lauren Tafata headed to the bench.
Just love how Tate-Jones hits the free throw and she's straight into defensive position. Next job mentality there.
And again, they're putting a little bit of pressure up the court here on New Plymouth. 31 is the margin. Forces an errant pass. And Wellington East will come back the other way.
Just as we spoke about earlier, you know, there's not much disparity between the tallest and the shortest player on this Wellington East team, and we see them switching a lot now, and it's keeping pressure on this New Plymouth team, who are making a couple unforced errors.
Hope you're enjoying the action on Sky Sport Next. Lots of basketball right across the country. Big shot from the corner from Ross Simi. Drains another three. And that margin continues to grow for the team in blue from the capital. Murray hands over to Smith with the shot. Well, I'm not sure whether she was looking at a pass there originally. But in the end, neither stuck, the pass or the shot. And once more, Wellington East get the ball back without having to do too much work for it. Tate-Jones setting things up. They've used this handoff quite a bit in this third quarter. Running their sets to ball under a little bit of pressure after a fumble. Tate-Jones hands off. Ross Simi can't put it away. Williams rebound. Murray to bring it back for New Plymouth. Finds a way through. Here's Smith. Williams had a look, back out. Smith off the dribble, pull up, jumper is going to be short. And the team in blue have dominated since quarter time. Ross Simi's on fire. Another basket for her. She hasn't missed too much.
We know they can play, and we know they like to defend hard and run even harder, but when the jump shot's dropping like that, beautiful pass there, when the jump shot's dropping like that for Wellington, they're going to be a tough team to stop.
Nice drive, nice defense. Ellie Williams right in the thick of that, the New Plymouth number 14.
Despite the scoreline, she's definitely been impressive to me, Justin. Dominating the rebounds. It's a great block shot there.
Yeah, probably the next part of her game is just getting those putback opportunities, isn't it? She definitely gives herself a chance. Very strong off the boards. Nice setup into the corner for 3. Tate Jones drops another long one for Wellington East. That lead out to 38. What was the difference at quarter time? It's only a few points.
I think it might have been about 15 or 16, Justin.
At quarter time or half time?
Half time
was 15, yeah. Quarter time, there wasn't much in it. Just saw a good basket there from Ella Williams. Back to the basket on the turn. She'll draw some confidence from that. Third quarter now. They really have run away with it since quarter time.
Seen a few of these corner threes, Justin, from the Wellington girls becoming more and more popular in all grades of our game at the moment.
Tate Jones will go to the line for another 2. She's been there quite a few times in this game so far. I think she called that one as missing herself as it left the hand. You could hear that in the background. Gets the chance again. Isabella Tate Jones makes the second one. That brings up the 70. Last 25 seconds of the third quarter and another turnover. Wellington East with a chance late in this quarter, out of court. New Plymouth will get possession back. Again, that pressure up the floor is proving difficult to get through. Through the middle of the floor. Smith fouled, yes. And she'll get a couple of late looks from the stripe for New Plymouth. It's been a 30-8 third quarter. 30-8, 30-9 third quarter. So a big run for Wellington East has really opened this game up. It's 40-25 at halftime, 70-35 right now. And was there a timeout called there?
I believe so.
With just seconds to go in the quarter. That's an interesting call.
Could be an opportunity, I guess, to maybe run something to get, good shot, as all signs are indicating to a massive game tonight at 7:30. So might just be making sure they're refining their tools for that one.
We'll let you know what's to come later today in a moment. We'll wait till three-quarter time, but there are 2 more games from Palmerston North on Sky Sport Next coming up later this afternoon and tonight. We'll give you those details in a moment. No doubt a few of the locals from around Palmerston North will come out and enjoy some basketball. Very much a sporting city. Of course, they've got the Manawatu Jets in the NBL. They've got the Turbos. Is that right? The Turbos?
102 Turbos rugby.
And what about the women's team here in Manawatu?
The Cyclones.
The Cyclones, that's right.
They're doing really well.
Yeah.
Really well at the moment.
In the Farah Palmer Cup, is it? Right.
For sure. Had a good one over Tasman, and then a win down in the capital.
There you
I
go.
hate to rub that in.
There you go.
Down at Wellington Regional.
I don't follow it too heavily. I usually like to watch any sport though. That's what was drawn up. No score added. And at three-quarter time, Wellington East 70 have really blown this game right out. They lead New Plymouth 35. It's a 35-point margin, and there's a lot to like about this Wellington East team. Just maybe they could be a contender for the Central Invitational Tournament. Let's have a look at those 2 other games coming up today. Fielding and Queen Margaret, 5:45. Don't forget, Queen Margaret finished 5th at the Nationals last year. Fielding are here on invitation, aren't they? This is their first chance. I don't think they played last year, Fielding. They've got an opportunity to come in and show us what they've got. And then 7:30 tonight, Sacred Heart New Plymouth take on St Peter's. How's the juggernaut that is St Peter's? They've been very, very strong at national level for quite some time now.
Seen a lot of players come and go as well through the system that make the national tournament team. It speaks a lot to the culture that they've got there of hard work. And I remember a couple of years ago getting to interview Leanne and a couple of her players, the coach at St Peter's, and they always talk about how hard they work at training and a lot of fitness. And quite often that can be the difference in those late moments, just in terms of being able to make critical decisions under fatigue. So quick shout out to them and all the hard work they've done over the years to be consistent.
Very consistent. Coach Jeff Cleaver of New Plymouth, what would his message be at three-quarter time? Because I think at quarter time he would have been very happy with how things were going, but really the last two quarters have belonged to Wellington East. There's the New Plymouth team. What would Coach Jeff Cleaver's instructions be for the final 10 minutes of this game?
I think for Jeff, you know, as the coach of a wild card team, I think he'll be happy to just give the opportunity to the girls to go out and play. Just to be at a tournament is good. You know, they get to run through some of their young players. And my message to the girls would be just trying to beat themselves and keep the effort levels consistent throughout the fourth quarter. Make sure they play hard the whole way, and maybe even try to win the quarter, just to take some confidence out. They do have another game. A loss here will, I think, cement their place as fifth in the pool. So they will have a game against whoever places fourth seed in
They'll
Pool
play tomorrow,
A.
yeah, correct, yeah.
So that'll be a good game. So they just need to take confidence, and they'll get it with the three-pointer there.
Liana Smith.
Into that game, and hopefully they can pick up a good result in that final game for them.
A captain shot by Liana Smith, and very much a quick reply by Ross Simi. Back the other way. She's been impressive. Turnover. Smith passing the ball straight to Caitlin Curtis, who finished easily for Wellington East.
If the Rotorua girls coaches are watching this game on our stream, I'd be making sure that they don't leave Ross Simi open, especially in that right corner. I'll be making sure to have a hand up on that.
Well, there's a few. Oh, Liana Smith has just dropped maybe the longest shot of the tournament. How far out was she on that occasion? I wouldn't mind seeing where the feet were placed with a replay of that one. Liana Smith from a long, long way out. She's opened the quarter with 2 threes, and that one was a fair way back. Lauren Tafada is fouled. Let's have a look where the feet are here. Well, where would you go if you were putting those away? That's a good 2 meters back.
Yeah, I hope no one will be videoing me when I'm putting up my shots, unless we just edit all the misses. But
that was impressive, Liana Smith. And Lauren Tafada converts. So they've come out and hit 9 straight points here to start the fourth quarter. Great work. Turnaround. Nice little kiss off the glass by Thompson Lolu. What a game she's had. That's got to be up over 20 points in this game now. Williams has it stripped away. And again, Wellington East charge down the floor as Thompson Lolu forces a foul. Been impressive. That game tonight is going to be very important. Rotorua and Wellington East. Doesn't miss too many of those. Thompson Lolu on that occasion, just a little too deep. And another foul called in this one. 77 plays, 44. We should send a big shout out. There's another deep three. To all of the volunteers. I was upstairs earlier on in the day, and when you actually see all the volunteers in a room, you quickly appreciate just how many people it takes to put something like this on.
For sure, Justin, and that's only the ones in the room. You've got to have a quick extra shout out to all the young fellas that are operating our school benches. They hardly ever go to the break room, and in the breaks they're just putting up threes and reverse layups, I think. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of them, and if it wasn't for them, it would struggle to put competitions like this together, so they deserve all the applause for their work behind the scenes.
Yeah, very impressive. Caitlin Curtis will go to the line for a couple of shots. Maybe had one of the plays of the game, Caitlin Curtis, with a big block in the third quarter. Was it in the third or the second? It was a big play.
It was a huge block.
Puts away the first. Having a look at the second. A little bit short. We'll get it back though. Off the hands of Williams on that occasion. Hands it off, Patia, who hands it off to Rossimi. Thompson Lolu from deep. Ooh, in and out. Rebound strong by Caitlin Curtis. Coming in from the side of Williams. She was fouled.
It's 2 extra opportunities she's created just this trip down, and it speaks to a lot of the way they play. They play hard.
Ella Williams has 3 personal fouls now. From the wing. And they are just putting them away. Time and time again. Phoenix Patia with another 3. 81 plays 46. Patia hands it off, gets it back. Goes on the left. Good defense on that occasion by Thompson Lolu. And New Plymouth will bring it in from the baseline. Patia, deep 2, misses everything. Off they go. On that occasion, just a little bit too far for Thompson Lolu. Smith hands off. Patia gets the screen from Williams, works her way inside again. Just that final touch wasn't there. And Wellington East looking to make them pay back the other way. Foul called against Emma Gilmore. And another trip to the line for Wellington East Girls College. Hello to all the Wellington East fans who may be tuning in to Sky Sport Next at the moment. Sitting back on a Friday afternoon in the nation's capital, taking in the action. They'll be pretty happy with what they've seen.
They'll be proud of their ladies. They've been playing hard the whole game, despite a bit of resistance from New Plymouth at the start, and they've come out in this fourth quarter well as well, New Plymouth. They'll be proud, the Wellington East supporters. I have noticed that a few of their players here, this is Isabella Tate-James, they take the approach to the free throw line before they actually go into their shooting motion.
Yep.
Assuming it helps with a bit of power from the legs, a bit of momentum. Don't know if I've seen that one before.
Something no doubt that they practice. There's a long 3-point attempt by Gilmore. 6.5 to go in this game. All one-way traffic since quarter time. It's been some good passages of play for both teams though. Here's Patia for 3. Rattles in and out. Foul off the rebound. Or was it? Yes, it was. Against Ella Williams. That's her 4th personal foul. I think even though New Plymouth will end the day 0-4, I watched them last night, or late yesterday, against Napier. There's a lot of good signs here for New Plymouth.
For sure. As we spoke about multiple times already, we saw them how they can play in their first quarter, and we've seen a bit more resistance here in the fourth, but they had a good game against Napier, only dropped that one by 12 points. So.
And that was an entertaining contest.
For sure, and Napier, we were well and truly contenders of going through to that top 4. So there are good signs for New Plymouth girls, sorry.
And the one thing we don't know is another good basket by Liana Smith. She's hit 3 3-pointers in this last quarter. The one thing we don't know is the age of the players.
Sure.
So some players are in year 13, as you would call, that's what you call it here, isn't it? Year 13.
Yep.
But there's also players in year 11, year 12. So we'll get to see some of these players again in 2021. In fact, there's players here that I remember seeing at the Nationals in 2019. So that's the one thing we don't know. Some of these players are building experience, and we could see them again in 2021. And I remember, as was the case with Ledger Walker last year, I think that was her 4th or 5th trip or something like that to the Nationals. So we do get to see these players continue their progress through their young basketball career.
For sure, at that stage, it's all about opportunities and experience. And when you come in as a wild card and runners up in your local competition, it's going to be tough. So I guess it's about managing expectations from the coach's perspective. And from there already, all you ask for your players at that stage is just to play hard, give it your best, and take the opportunities to learn. And I'm sure they're doing that now.
And you can see from the last couple of minutes here, this game has just opened right up. Both teams looking to rotate the players through, although, as we've said time and time again, for Wellington East, that option of rotating... Oh, she's hit another one. That's 4 in the quarter for Liana Smith, the captain of New Plymouth. And I'll tell you what, that one was from a fair way out as well.
I think that one might have been from even further.
Surely not. Let's have a look. We'll go to it in just a moment. You be the judge. We saw that first one. There's a foul called. Let's have a look at this replay for Liana Smith. How far out on this occasion? Well, I'll tell you what, you're right.
That's definitely further.
If that's not the same, that is further.
She held that follow through too, like it came out.
Big last quarter for Liana Smith. She's hit 4 threes this quarter.
I think those are the experiences that we were talking about, though. You see the ball go through the net a few times against a pretty good opposition, Wellington champions. You take that into your next game with a bit of confidence, knowing that you can knock it down. That could be the difference sometimes, just a bit of confidence in someone's ability.
I think we're going to catch up with the captain after the game, Liana Smith. We'll ask her about that final quarter shooting. Just over 4 minutes to play. 84-52.
Yeah, if my maths is correct, I think we finished the end of the third quarter with a 35-point difference.
Yep. So
New Plymouth girls winning this quarter so far, albeit still a lot of time left, but they've been there.
Well, and that's what you spoke about, Tomai, at three-quarter time, just that message of, let's get something out of this last quarter. Let's take it forward with us. Good defence on that occasion by Opal Hardy. So they've definitely done that. It's been good to see. Eldershaw to bring it in. Can they continue to put some points on? Let's see what Smith does. Has it stripped away from her on that occasion by Patia. Away they come, spinning, twisting off the glass. Patia will finish off the work done by Tate Jones. And another 2 points for Wellington East.
They definitely don't let their foot off the brakes, this Wellington East, and they play hard the whole time.
Attempt at the reverse layup by Lucy Elliott. Couldn't put it away.
For New Plymouth going forward, I think it's just about how they can maintain the effort they showed in the first quarter and so far throughout the fourth quarter, and how they can implement it for the full 40 minutes, and this team will really grow.
And for anybody around the local area here, basketball on all day tomorrow with 10 teams in action. So finals, of course, we'll bring you all the coverage on Sky Sport Next, but feel free to come down, free entry, come in and have a look and support the teams.
Lovely setup down here.
Some of the best young players in the country, but more importantly, young players who are back on court and enjoying basketball once again. It really was an unknown whether any of these players would get to see court time in 2020. Also good that at the moment, fingers crossed, it looks like the 15s and 17s nationals coming up in late October. Let's hope that that happens. Great transition basketball finished off by Patia, and that really emphasises everything we've seen from Wellington East this afternoon, doesn't it, Tomai?
For sure, they play hard the whole game, and they don't let their foot off defensively. Still having active hands, moving their feet, working together, getting into those passing lanes, and well, their passing is phenomenal, especially in the fast break. I just want to quickly acknowledge Marara Murray, a couple of positions ago, forcing the jump ball down by a big margin. Those are the little plays that you notice as a coach, Coach Cleaver, that you can be proud of, that they're playing hard the whole game, no matter the score, and that's how you grow.
Hard to the basket, in and out for Prescott. Tafata's back on the court, and points are good. I think the basket will count. Two referees just having a conversation. I think the points will count. Foul will be against Chloe Mercury.
I think the only thing that could have been cushioning there was if she may have taken an extra step after
Just
the bump.
yep, just that step. I think you're right. Bonus shot for Lauren Tafata is good. They've added 21 points in this last quarter, 21-18 the way of New Plymouth. So they've definitely finished strong, which is good to see. Good basket off the glass there for Chloe Mercury. I think she surprised herself then. Found her way through traffic. Corner three, in and out. Loose ball. Well, there's a fair bit of desperation there. And in the end, it's going to be a possession arrow. And it will go the way of New Plymouth. Inside the last 2 minutes of this one. Very comprehensive display by Wellington East, as they get set for a big game coming up tonight. Chance to get some late points here for New Plymouth. As this one winds down to its conclusion, I think we're going to catch up with Chloe Mercury and Liana Smith after this game. Who's your tip for tonight?
Oh, don't put me in that position, Justin. It's going to be a tough one.
Of course, we've got Sacred Heart and St. Peter's tonight. What about that one? An early call?
Yeah, no, it's always going to be tough for me to go against St. Peter's, but I'm hoping for a tight contest. Sure, we're going to get it.
Great play just there. Tafata getting the ball up to Opal Hardy for two. So continuing to get some scores, get some baskets late in this game. New Plymouth last quarter has been very good. What about Wellington East and Rotorua tonight?
It's hard for me to look past Wellington East, especially with their shooting. They play tough defensively, and the team chemistry looks outstanding. They play hard for their coach. He's animated. He's making adjustments on the fly. If you're really forcing me to lean one way or the other, I'll go with Wellington, just because it's a little bit closer to Palmerston North. That's going to be my excuse.
Good block by Chloe Mercury there. Well, Wellington East last year finished 14th at the Nationals, and Rotorua finished 17th. So, based on what we saw in 2019, and I've got to tell you, based on what I've seen today, I don't think there's too much between the two teams.
Definitely not.
I think it's going to be a close one. 30 seconds to go in this one. 30-point margin. Wellington East, this will be their second win of the competition. Defeated Napier in overtime last night. Had a loss to Mount Maunganui.
The win against Napier's looking like it was more and more important. Beautiful pass, followed by a not as beautiful one.
I was going to say, I think in the end, Prescott probably didn't realise she had all the space to herself to finish that one off.
I think you're right there.
So the clock winds down. Impressive win for Wellington East. Good game with some good patches from both teams. From the corner, Birdsall with the shot coming up short. Back the other way, off the glass, rolling in. Tate Jones, she's had a wonderful game, and that'll be it. 92 plays 60, a big win for Wellington East this afternoon here in Palmerston North over New Plymouth. That 8-player rotation. Maybe it's the secret weapon for Wellington East. They're a close bunch, and they've got a big game coming up tonight when they take on Rotorua. Let's have a quick look ahead as to what we've got coming up. 2 more games on Sky Sport Next coming your way from Palmerston North today. Fielding and Queen Margaret at 5:45 this afternoon. And then tonight, Sacred Heart, New Plymouth against St Peters. Who did you say was going to win that game? I did put you on the spot.
I'm going to go 55% St Peters, mate. 55%.
Well, take us through that game. Of course, it was a very close first quarter. In fact, I think we said at quarter time, if the rest of the game pans out like this, we are in for a very, very close finish. And then from about 1 or 2 minutes into that second quarter, Wellington East just grabbed a hold of this game. They played to their strengths, that quick transition, their outside shooting, they played to their strengths. They got the win, and it was very impressive. Tomai Hapango, take us through it, take us through your thoughts, and wrap up the game.
I think in the first quarter, New Plymouth came out like they wanted it a little bit more, and they were creating second chance opportunities for themselves, but they just couldn't make the most of all of them. As we see a lovely moment on court between the two teams, getting a photo together. Yeah, it was a tight first quarter, but the second and third quarters, Wellington East showed why they're champs of the capital city, Wellington, New Zealand, and managed to pull away. They play hard for the full 40 minutes with the pressure defense. Despite the side disadvantage, they're definitely a strong team. They get low. They negate any size advantage to the best of their abilities, and that's why they're the Wellington champs. Good win for them. They'll be getting ready for a massive game, albeit not on the live stream, at 7:30 p.m. against Rotorua Girls. That one will decide who seeds number 2 in Pool B. We're going to throw it over to Justin Nelson now, as he's got a couple encore interviews.
Thanks, Tomai. Catching up with captain of New Plymouth, Liana Smith. Really close start, Liana, that first quarter, back and forward, and then Wellington East really opened up that game with their transition. Yeah. It's a tough one in the end.
Yeah, I reckon we started well and everything, but they pulled through in the end, and great team, so you don't mind losing to a great team. Obviously it's tough taking a loss, but to them, you don't mind when they're a great team.
Well, there's been some patches too. I thought there was a lot of good play from New Plymouth as well. The shooting in the last quarter, 4 3-pointers for yourself, and some of those were from a fair way out. You don't mind the shot?
No, yeah, I don't when they go in, but when they miss, yeah, a bit embarrassing, isn't it? But yeah, we had a great team, we are, young bunch and everything, and yeah, just some good plays.
Well, how have the team enjoyed it? Because it's just great to be back on the floor and playing basketball again, isn't it?
Yeah, with COVID and everything, we just love being out here and everything, and just getting to play schools as one, you know, like we've just been at home playing our own clubs and stuff. So getting out amongst our own age group has been good.
Well, go and enjoy the night. We'll see you back out here tomorrow.
Cool, thank you.
Good on you. There's the captain of New Plymouth, Liana Smith. Now, there's a fair bit of support for Chloe Mercury joining us now from Wellington East. Congratulations, great win. It was a really, really tight start, and then from about a minute into that second quarter, the team really piled it on.
O e tika ana kia whakamihia i aku kōtiro konei a kua kaha tātou ki te whakaharatau, a ki te mahi ngā moe ai, e kitea. Ki te kitea ngā pai tata, ka kitea ngā pai tawhiti. So this didn't come easy to us. We're a team of hard-working girls and we put in the effort to do so, and it's not the work that we put into the game, it's the work that we put into practices and stuff that really gets us to where we are.
It's very well said. I was really impressed with the offensive transition, the way that the team moves the ball up the floor, very, very quick, and it leads to a lot of points.
Koe anō, ko ngā mahi whakaharatau tērā, ara ko ngā mahi hā engari hara I te mea ko te mahi a tina nā noiho, he mea a hinengaro anō hoki. Like we said, it's what we do in practice, and it's not just a physical thing, it's a mental thing to be able to do what we do on court. So yeah.
And just the 8 players here, so everybody's having to go out there and do a job, aren't they? And I think that's a really impressive sign for Wellington East. As this competition continues, all 8 players have to contribute.
He mea taumaha ki te hare I tēnei tima me waru noa ngā kōtiro, engari koe anō e tai ana mātu ki te tutuki iau a hua tangana te mea o tātou kaha whaia I o tātou hia. It's a difficult thing to play with only 8 players, but because of our drive to do so and our striving for excellence, we can do what we need to do on court.
And finally, a big game coming up tonight against Rotorua. Of course, semi-final berths are up for grabs, but you continue to play like that. I think tonight's going to be a very, very close contest.
E hari I te mea me haere ki roto I te kēmu, o kua toa mātou, anō he mea hinengaro tēnei, ara ki te haere tātou a hinengaro, ka haere a tinana, mā tātou tira atua. We can't go into the game thinking we're just going to win. We can't underestimate all the teams here because all the teams here are amazing. And if we keep doing what we're doing and just stay focused and stay composed, we can win.
Well, I've just started, by the way, learning te reo, and I've got to tell you, I'm looking for a tutor. I live in Wellington. You might be the person that helps me out a lot, so well done and congratulations on the win. Good on you, Chloe.
So much. Thank you.
Very, very popular. Big win for Wellington East, and they go into a massive game tonight against Rotorua. Make sure you join us coming up this afternoon, 5:45 p.m. on Sky Sport Next. Next game up is Fielding against Queen Margaret. We'll be back for that one shortly. We'll see you then.